Hey, what's going on, guys? Hex Competitive back again today with a brand new video. And today we're talking about the new generation of anime, essentially, and/or just the new version that's going to coexist with the other one, right? Maybe 20, 30 years from now, who knows where we'll be at, but hopefully we're all there. All these kind of different manhwas and mangas and light novels are still kicking, and they're really working together to grow this community. And that leads us to A Tower of God. So, A Tower of God, what a unique presentation, what a unique show. It had the most different feel from an anime maybe that I've ever experienced. It's just such a different show, and I was like, wait, it's a manhwa, so it's a Japanese comic book, right? But actually, after looking further into it and thinking that it was actually a Japanese comic book, this is more of Korean work. So, as we've seen in the recent year or two, Korea has gotten involved with this kind of stuff. So it's cool to see Tower of God, a manhwa, actually get that adaptation. I know we're also waiting for a show like Solo Leveling to also get that adaptation. So I can't wait for that as well. But A Tower of God, for people who don't know what it is, so far is a very vague show, but it's a show that's doing a great job of presenting that. So Tower of God starts off with a kid in a cave, and he's been trying to get out of this cave, and it showcases how he's been trying to get out of it and what kind of determination he's had or resolve to get out of it. And you'll see that in the show. I'm going to try to be vague, while I go through this. Now, also, we see that he meets a girl named Rachel who ascends to the top of the tower. And apparently the tower has many levels, and it's just not something people do if anyone has ever done it. We don't really know yet. So looking further at A Tower of God, though, we meet a girl who is a princess. We meet the man who is the navigator, and/or also, I think he called himself the caretaker of the tower. And apparently he's supposed to do that for the noble families he made it sound like. More to that, hopefully, to come. Now, our main character, which I don't have names down yet, is apparently a non-regular, which I don't know if he exactly is a non-regular or they're just trying to pass him off as one. Maybe he's just something else, because he didn't originally open the gate in the beginning, and she mentions a non-regular opening the gate, which is something that is common, I guess. And apparently he did it without permission. Now, we know Rachel was the one who ascended and originally opened that gate. Now, so that's a big question in the show. Now, moving on and moving forward, we also have these scenes where we have our main character fighting a beast. It is a silver eel, I believe it's called, and he has to go through his trial in order to, begin ascending the tower and, of course, meet that girl named Rachel. So Rachel, once again, is the girl that's atop of the tower, and our main character, which, once again, I can't remember his name. Rachel's about all I can do for you right now. He is fighting this eel. He goes through the challenges, and, of course, eventually he ascends. And we meet the princess, who actually gives him a sword that is really similar and/or reminds me of shows like Bleach and Seraph of the End and Noragami, to where a sword has some kind of being possessed inside of it. And these swords are called Black March. And I think all the Black Marches are just type of swords. They don't use it in a plural form because they're just, they usually say a Black March or a Black March. But Black March is what appears to be a weapon, not necessarily a specific one, but I think all of the swords that gets displayed through one of the female characters we meet early on in the show. Now, after I was looking at that, I was wondering if is that sword, specifically or not, because we do know that these swords will only respond to certain people, and these are supposed to be people who are, of great family descent, and that's exactly who this girl is. She's a princess. She's one of the most notable ones, from what I did read in a slight synopsis on the characters, just so I could get a feel for them without actually getting good characterization. I vaguely maybe read a sentence about each one, if that. And she also explains that in the show. Now, she also is someone who, it seems to be a tsundere, but she seems to be a really cool tsundere, because it looks as if she knows when to turn it back. She knows when to kind of shut up and get over that attitude. That's just kind of what I got from her character. So maybe she's gonna be a really cool tsundere girl, because we saw that she can be really nice as well. So moving on to the next thing I did want to discuss, though, about the show in general, because the show it's supposed to be a big thing. It's a show that's been highly, highly talked about by so many different people that I've heard from, outside of Solo Leveling, stuff like that. This is the manhwa I've heard a lot about. This is at least one of 3 or 4. I can't remember the other two's names. So looking at the show, though, it's it's really interesting, and it's very vague with what it's doing. It definitely does not show you where they're at. It does not really give you a distinctive presence of the world. You don't know where these people come from. We don't I get the kind of sense we will not know where these people come from per se. I don't know. It just seems like it's all going to take place in the tower. It really does. It seems like it's a very central focus on the tower. But as I say that, and I am talking right now, off the top of my head, I kind of remember the princess kind of saying, "All right, let's go to the floor he's on," and they start walking up there. So apparently, she's made it that far before. And once you made it to a certain level, you can go up and down as you please, as long as you survive. Because we see this is basically Deadly Death Trials. I mean, this is about kill or be killed in a lot of senses for the show. So, yeah, looking at the show, I'm interested. I think it's gonna be. I'm very interested, and I think it's a watch. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Go watch the show. It's gonna be a great show. I think for a lot of people. I think it's gonna be a show that's going to really make anime take another step. I really do. That's just my first impression from the show. And once again, I say that with such confidence and such almost arrogance per se, because it's a different version. The feel was different. I can't put a finger on it, and I don't think it's going to be something a lot of people can put a finger on in a very in-depth manner in a video for probably about 3, 4, 5 episodes, maybe the whole season once we actually reflect on it. It's so similar, but yet so different. I can't explain that feel I got when watching the anime. Maybe it was because it's the first time me sitting back behind my desk and actually watching a seasonal anime and wanting to seasonal review. I never released that podcast about me just being done with it all for reviewing, weekly series. But I told you all in that same video that I may come back. I have not released that said video once again, but yeah. So here I am 6 months later. I'm back, a new version of anime. It truly feels like a blessing that I am able to receive such a new type of show being animated because it's so cool to watch. And once again, I really recommend you guys watch this show. The action, the art. Let's talk about the art really quick. Yeah, absolutely. Before the video ends, I know that this may be a little bit sloppy part of the video, but hey, if you're here, you're awesome. But looking at some of the art with the show, I would like to say that the art, I'm able to dig it. At times, I thought it was look really odd and kind of in the preview, but then the art kind of looks different in the show. There's some art that looks normal, like the eel. That art looked different kind of than the rest of the show. Another thing that we did want to discuss, I think that sometimes the show's art can be odd to look at. I think that there's really, if I remember right, there's some really thick, bold, like outline, like border lines of like the grass, I think on floor 2 and stuff like that, if I remember correctly. I'm interested in the animation. The animation looked decent for what it showed. It didn't really put itself in a position to do anything too spectacular. And I also did see how gruesome this show is. I mean, shoot, second floor, 3 people are gone. They're done in instantly. They're no longer living. So it can be an eye for an eye, definitely type of show, and expect that that gruesome action per se. I don't know how gruesome, but it's not going to be afraid to show blood. It's not going to be afraid to show violence. That's for sure. So yeah. Other than that, though, guys, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I tried to be vague with the video. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. I hope that you guys check this show out, and I hope you guys gear up for me reviewing what should be me reviewing. Knock on wood, just in case something happens, I'll keep you updated. Snafu, and those would be my 2 for the season. Maybe I pick up Dark Horse if there is a really good one. I'll pick that up, and I don't want to go over 4, but I'm interested in doing 3 for sure. I mean, and if I wasn't behind the Sword Art Online and rewatching old shows that I've already watched, just because I really just want to get a feel for what I'm doing here again, then yeah, I'd be there to do that ASAP. So yeah, other than that though, the ED was also fire. It's really good. The ED even felt like it sang different, had some English in there. It just feels so different, man. I mean, I think Studio Telecom is who's doing this, and I think that's a brand new studio or just a studio from Korea. I'm not sure who did King's Avatar, but that may be something that you do want to look into whenever you're trying to find out what's going on with this show. So, yeah, other than that, though, guys, you guys have been Hex. Be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, X25. I'll see you guys next time. Peace. Thanks for watching, guys.